So just make yourself comfortable with the sitting posture and just feel the relaxation of the body. So as we sit in this relaxed physical posture, so the just to think of the understanding of this what we call as the I, that which is ourself. It's a bit of echoing. It's okay. Sounds alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, must be my the I, or which is yourself, and which is something which always accompanied, always goes with this body, and so it's important to understand the situations of the reality of this I. And we also have the beside the mind, so beside the body, and ourself. Then we have our mind, and so in terms of these the connections or the relation of our mind and ourself against the body, then we can understand that how when we in terms of relation of these three, the mind, body, and the self, and we can understand how the mind and the body, so the mind and ourself is something which are almost like their relation is something like inseparables. The not so much like but however when we talk the body, which is not necessarily it's something which is always goes or always together with ourselves.
Living under the guardian and Yamati live the tongue wrong, said, Master, never know where I'm money. You are? I didn't ask him, never know where that's on the over. Chili will listen, and the chili bottle, not on a thing. Nova Yenata, man, said, dog is, said, Rodney, or Queen Yon, she has 11. 이시 나이때 시알레니 시알 마스 되는다 마스 켈레게요 어사 이시 줄라 단테 줄네 하세네 얘나 매나 걸어서 매 로가 다센 로가 소소이 지생도가 소선 상가로 안도 다 그래서 된 로가 되면 매 문로하는 안도 신내 거기와 매 문로하 저게 있어 가래나지 시아성에 들래 거래 되게 시간이 시기도 this channel, take that, Chia Long and take the thing. I don't say, two thousand, send the guy wrong on the cells, what to do, and then this thing.
So so as just mentioned earlier, So the eye or the mind are the two things which these two are inseparables. And whereas when we talk about our body, then like there is there will be a time when we have to leave this body, and so therefore we also, if we also check we can also find that how if we enjoy, if we have a state of mind or a mind which is wholesome, which is positive, then how that makes a kind of difference to the well-being of ourselves, and so there's always so therefore given the fact that the mind is something that always accompany with, always travel with ourselves. Now the lot of, like, especially in the Buddhist doctrines, so we talk about when we leave this life, or when we die, then we say that we will go to the future life or the next rebirth, and along with us, then our mind also goes with that. So then not only that, even some other spiritual systems, such as like the Christianity, is also assert this idea of future rebirth by using the term, like according to His Holiness Dalai Lama, like the soul, which is something almost like an eternal, which is travel from here to the So whereas in the Buddhist terminology, we use the term like a self, and so the soul travels according to Christianity now, and from the Buddhist perspectives, now the factor. So if we say that if we goes to future life, and then what the thing that determines the whether the good or bad of our future rebirth, so is the state of mind, which the qualities within the state of our mind.
말은 세야가 대대는 거지 우야데 된 노지가 나 세도 하도 세도 뭐 세야고 제 정말 저거 여산 이자 아 선택도 건데
So even in terms of the this like present life, we can see the tremendous benefit if we enjoy a very stable, positive state of mind, and which is mind which is always very peaceful and very gentle, and so if we have that, then even though externally we face a certain like a very rough time or rough hardships, it would not be we would not feel that that much rough or the difficulties. So however, on the conversely, if we internally, if our mind is also very rough, or in other words is very disturbed, very agitated, and then and on top of that, then to face some difficulty outside, then it will be very overwhelming and become very hard for us. So therefore, just to what we are really to focusing here is to really to see the benefit of having a very within us a very a state of mind, if a mind which is positive and which is very gentle and calm, and if something which we which we possess, and it makes a it becomes a very great advantage for oneself. So so now, however, as we say, we in terms of the various factors that brings happiness in our life, and which we would prioritize in our life in terms of the securing a better better condition for our life, then we if we are honest, then we don't really normally don't consider the how important it is to our mind, the hygiene or the well-being of our state of mind. So what is important for us is more to do, all our focus is more on the external objects, or the external factors which we recognize, or which we see as the cause of happiness. And so we don't, and like even when we talk in terms of the external, like, so perhaps the most important one which close to us is when we to refer to our body, which is like referred as my body. So when we look at that body, which we really not to mention that we should not be undermining the health of the body, but when we look at that, it's where we see how much we cherishes the body, and in fact we could say that our whole life is really focused on really providing this body, like for example, all the materials like the foods, the drinks that we finds in our life, we provide this to our body, and as well as if you find something nice clothes, which is also given to the body, and even an ornaments, whatever we wearing, that also given to the body, and if something's like a perfume or something like smell, also given to the body. So there's a lot of the we see the recognize that as so so important, and cherishes that body. So so therefore the but however, so what we have to focus, if we think of, in terms of what really actually truly brings happiness, what is truly something which is most important for us, then we could see that more than body, more than any other external objects, is our own mind, state of mind, and to understanding the benefit of enriching our mind with such a the qualities of bringing like positive thinking and so forth.
That's on that thing. Mando da lipo del tendi che mando lipo io ya je ya call mando di ta tu che go call ya sa di mo call de ta call tenda ya bo je chi go re tende i ta de inda ina bodin de che ya de ta le ne che ya ta call tenda ya bo je chi go re te sin ga ye da ne ngen ta ba de mando body color kaze be ra libo color kaze chijo zo ma da ma de ko nyor ro ko ya sign ro ni chalo tha ko ni lo jo je ge kan chalo ji de so ni ge lo ma che che le chalo de ja shi bu ji ro ya de de zo ba ya ra ro de ya ra sign ro ro de ngen no do in jor ka ne ne de che se da ma da ka ze ya ji chi so na yo ko pan ro da ge ya se zo ro yo ge ne de de se ko shi da se la ba condition na ko ba ya ji ba shi go se na sa ni me ge de do bo de ma do ji 내가 주자잖아. 거로 세진도 네 유박에서 좀 맞아. 세 거로 야를 같은 건데. 야 장계나 판 장계나 거로 세 미타신도 맞아. 거세인데 세려가 된지 있잖아. 세례 때 유제들 예때들 싸니가 보면 너 세상이 몇개 드리다. 맞아. 나게 얘네 세대 맞아. 얘네 세 정보도 맞아. 년들 세 정보 약관 되게 맞아. 약관 네 제가 다 선택 저로 선택도 되게 옛날에 맞아서 서서 손을 또쇼 건들 때 서서 따지 제고 나 손을 또 하는데 저건 배도 뭔데 이 손을 또 하는 너들이 손도 케이들 세들 뭐야 이런데 손도 이제 자네 저 세들 야요 되게 이래라대 이네 저를 야부셔 말해야 된다. 너는 된도나야.
But the reality of our body is very well described by the great Indian master like Shantideva, that it's saying that it has in fact the body there is the limit to its growth, its perfections. So and so therefore the however when we take into account of our mind, developing our mind, then that there seems to be like if we trying to develop certain qualities and trying to perfect the mind, then there's no limit to it. It can be continuously. There's opportunity to develop until it can become perfect. So therefore what we have to do, on the one hand we have to understand that in fact this Shantideva also mentioned that the given the fact that even though the fact that how much we we supported this body as if almost like we become like a slave to support this body. So given that fact, then we should now think of of utilizing and think of now, since now we have done a lot of support to the body. Now how we can benefit, how we can benefit from our body, how we can utilize this body to achieve what we want in our life. So so this is something we need to consider, and and also to think of in terms of what is most important for us is as we said before, is to developing positive quality within our mind, and that should be more beneficial in long run. Is more beneficial than to focusing our mind on our physical body, physical state. So which again, furthermore, if we check how if we think investigate a little bit more on how how our body is limited, growth is limited, how then we will know from our own experience that as we time pass, as we ages, the body starts to weaken, deteriorate. If you compare the body, the strength of the body, complexion of the body from when we were at a young 18 or 19 years old, and then later on when we turn 50, 60, so there's a significant deteriorations. So it is naturally this is despite the fact that all the effort that we made in maintaining the body, but at the end it just deteriorates. And how, even as if you want to be as a sport person, how the physical body has a limit to whether you are doing a high or long jump. There is a certain limit that the body can do, can reach. So there's complexions and of the body. So with the ages, as we age, it all deteriorates. And whereas we look at our mind, and if you imagine if we make an effort in trying to develop our mind, and then we will find there is no limit, and in fact, and as well as the benefit that we can derive from that, from the quality that we cultivate in the mind is far greater, and so therefore the bottom line is, so therefore what we're saying is we should try to focus on the mind, within our mind, and see what we can do to bring changes in there, in terms of our way of thinkings, and how we have to look into our mind very, rather, whenever certain thought arise, and we should be checking that thought, whether what this thought wants you to do, and whether is it something achievable or not, or the effect of that thought is that something brings sadness or being happiness. And so you have to look into investigate these, and then accordingly trying to apply this method, various methods to training or to changing our the state of mind.
That's on the says on what Yaji Kaji to nothing, where happened to well, Lonia, so Lonia, she got telling others the border bar. He should show us a lot to the rest, the boy on your money. That take cunning me. Says on my Yaji, I thought, so lot to the rest, I sang till the Jan Manawa, didn't she? They are not yet, 10 days. That's their Malava. The song is there to us. So says on what Koshi Jena, myself, shell, we pay second. They Koshi did it, how come this? Young any song. The woman on Tete go and Tete Apple go and Tete go out there. You know, the one Tete Tony, the boy, Yard, the Kali come Sharon. Sell Tete no, say Yard, no, me pay second. So Tandan, call and Yapo Yard. Literature on Nojiga, say to a Tete, Yapon Roy, say Yapo Yaji, don't Lord Yasha card, Lord Techi card, the boy on Roy, say yard Roy, the session. Len Yashakai said, Lord Techikai said, any yard, there cause said, Zumba, ya, and Lord Techikan on the telecom said, shell. I mean, the day. Today, the mother says, okay, share and Masay Apoyon, Masay, which is the sales over and the running. Tangi, Teresa, mother's son do not die, there's some to die. I'm not going to tell it yet.
So what I'm trying to address here is to, as much as we take care of the hygiene of our body, we should be also taking care of the hygiene of our mind. And so there are the lot of reasons. Of course, the most important reason is that if we take care of our mind, then how that has the benefit not only in immediate time frame, but also it has a long-term benefits. And as we were just saying before, and in fact the benefit is much greater than the benefit we can which we get from our body, because with the body, as we were just saying before, of course there's we can only manage our health only to certain degree. We cannot be it's not totally under our own control, and especially we as we were just saying before, how as we reach to the old age, like when we reach to 60s or whatever over plus, and then how there is the body, despite even if you whatever you have done for your whole life, but at that stage the body even it just become very weak, and then as we go older, it becomes weaker, and so however, imagine if we put an effort in terms of looking after our mind, hygiene of our mind, and be able to throughout our life, if we are able to as if we are investing some sort of the cause of happiness within our mind, and then this can be something we can also enjoy even when we age, at an old age, and in fact, if more we invest there, then in the older age, we'll find more happiness and more peace in our mind, and so therefore it is to just the focus, what we are trying to say here is, or focus here is to on our mind and to focus on our mind, and also trying to build like a positive, or habituate our mind to a positive way of thinking, and trying to overcome all the negative. On the other hand, to negative or the very destructive and the disturbing state of minds. So on the everyday life, so we should we trying to we should be aware of like maintaining a positive state of mind, and so because what the in our life, what is something that which we the happiness that which we perceive. So it's the directly related to more towards our state of mind, because when we talk of happiness, it is more like we're talking about something of our own experience, and so therefore it is something related to our mind, and so from this perspective, and then if we check what is the main factor, main cause for that to achieve that happiness, then the main cause is really to cultivating a positive state of mind, and in fact even what the various actions that we do, whether those and those actions will be something positive, negative, or beneficial or harmful, that also has to lot depends upon our state of mind, whether it's positive or negative. And also there is no doubt that we all look for to enjoy more resting, more relaxations, and again that also has the true relaxation, true rest also has to come from the mind, and so from all these perspectives, so it's important to on a everyday basis, we have to check, observe our mind, and just to ensure that at least our mind is not always wandering after various external objects, and so therefore trying to ensuring that we trying to everyday basis we bring some sort of balance within us, and trying to every now and then, so we're trying to calm the mind inward, and trying to instill this peace and stillness within us, and through this way to cultivating a positive state of mind. So in fact, so these days, the meditations, has become quite a very like a hot topics for for a lot of peoples, and also there's a significant increase in the interest for the meditation practice. So therefore, so it's important. Therefore, it's important to understand that now really at the end the main purpose of the meditation practice is to bring about this mental peace and happiness, through cultivating a positive state of mind. And so it is a means to, if we have cultivate a positive state of mind, then to how to safeguarding it and developing it.
대한 서도는 영화 세도 다시 가리 먼저 가리 이게 세 손도 세 저저저만 너희 싫어이라 이니세 만들지 누구야 대만 가서 저저로 세 노을 산년 만내야 돼 싫어 너희 온도 돈이 되네 대하자 되네 영화 세도 이거 다시 저저로 만들어야 다시 저는 러대야 다시 좋아 너희 만들지 대다지는 대다지 러야 되니 대자들 새 코를 뛰는지 마대 샤르는 질러대 이 동성 넘어잖아 들리지 다 샤와 대선에 아마도 시사는 고다 코를 때지 만도에는 저런 머리에는 들리가 놓아놨지 이거가 된다 짜니 매den가 놓아지 들리지 이거야 이거네 된다 대시래 만 된다 대드스는데 생긴지 저야 보나 짜니 오지면 놓아 들리지야 다 놓아 된거니 진로거를 되는 만들지 내내 세와 tru되네 세들은 뭐야 용되네 싫어지라 가지 전화에 싫어지지 잠만에 뭘 요된가 서서 놓아나 들리지요 나 놓아 대령한테 때지 지금 가마다나 놓아 다가노 제서나 아마도 때 깔끔하지 이거 놓아 대리 세다 싫어 자지 자타면 놓아 대리 세도 자지 따다마 세지 내가 뭐들 제안마다 생생 해체지 로게나 세계는 마음에 시대 하바 연다가 들이 Fire, Yunga, something, and is not something about the watch it in the name. I don't like the terrible damage. That on the things of getting something to no bad white. I don't have
So in a way, the meditations like offer us and like an alternative way of finding meaning to our life. So because if the normally is the kind of the way our approach to finding happiness and the meaning of life or meaning in our life is more like a based on the external distractions and so it's like the effort and that we put in, it's all really based on this our all effort and also our skills and our knowledge, and so everything to achieve the happiness and or to achieve the satisfaction. So it's something based on the external values, on the material or the objects, material conditions. So therefore, and even if as a result, we do achieve some sort of things in our life and from this and however we feel that at the end we feel when we look however when we turn our attention inside within us, then we yet regardless, despite the fact that whatever we have accomplished in our life outwardly, so we feel that we haven't achieved, there's no true satisfaction within us, and as we're saying, like you were saying, that how you've done so many things in life, you achieve so many things, but still you're very bored. You get very bored easily, and you feel there's some things missing. There's a bit of sense of feeling of there's a bit of emptiness, within your mind, and so therefore the how again when we look at this, why we feel like that, and that's more to do with because of when it's that feeling of discomfort or unease and or the discontented and all the or discontent and the frustrations. So if we look at that, then it's that it's arise because of some sort of thoughts in our mind. Whatever something that appearance within of the things, various things in our mind that which says to us which kind of make us think that there are things are not quite in order, as if they need to do something more, and so therefore on the other hand, when we talk of the meditation practice and how through in which so we're trying to overcome all these thoughts within us, all the distracting thoughts within us, and even the cutting off this thought which says to, which give one a very negative perspective of your life, your meaning of your life. And even we say that through meditation practice, we remove all this thought. And so therefore the effect is that then you will find, as we get rid of this thought, then it kind of, as a result, then we find more our mind settles within ourselves, and through this we begin to experience some sort of peace and happiness, and then with that there is some sense of a joy and happiness. Okay, so now we will begin the usual short meditations. So without going over again, so just make sure you choose the right posture and relax your body, and then in here, so the objects for which we will use in our meditation is just our own inhaling and exhaling of the breath, and so understanding that how our mind, in order to operate, or in order to remain still, still it needs some sort of objects to remain, to sit on, and so which we can call that as an object of meditations. So here, so the object is the inhaling and exhalings, and so just trying to overcome all the distracting thoughts and all the other objects, and direct the mind, or place the mind fully on inhaling and exhaling.
That's some test. Let me but it. I may but tell her, think all Sajan, tell Nash, Yabala, tell the name, get there. That's had children, get them to do Matana, that, Color, la, sell the time, Nibato, thing on Nesayam, and I don't Matana, Casual, Chalofan, Rodin, Casual, then the Shalonoi, Tarisha, Noi. Draw Thomas said, you say, come there, sell a gentleman, sell Daniona. Then sell a tea, and Masana Chibuchi, tell the thing on the Chibuchi fell out. No name, one thing that pass on to us in general, don't come over and ask some thing on the Chibuchi. We are it. There is a come again.
So obviously, so in our meditations, so our main obstacles, so is the mental distractions. So that is our mind, instead of the being able to fix the mind on the objects. So we the mind getting distracted by other objects, like some other external objects. So so in the meditation, so one trying to make an effort so that you can fully direct your mental attention on the objects. So rather than rather than just only a portion of the mind on the objects, but not rather, and where while the portion part of the mind's being being distracted towards the, other objects. So if we can notice that how if we fix our mind on these objects, the meditation objects, and as the mind stays there, then we can really begin to experience the comfort and the peace and real sense of relaxations. So as the mind sits there, then we can feel that relaxation automatically. Okay, thank you.
네. 잘 이제 잘은 소소 맞아. 너가 이거 리뷰가 지금 잘하면
Yeah. Just a little bit of time left, so maybe if you have a question, you most welcome, and if you in here, if you're holding any such like a Dharma discussions, and you might have some questions to to share here. Any question? Yeah.
So I'm under 40 years old. Some people I talk to are getting concerned about old age and getting closer to death. And I wonder how, because I don't know what it's like to be at that age, how I can still try to understand what it might feel like for them and have compassion. I think I'm talking mainly about Christian people I know, so they haven't spent so much time thinking about impermanence and the different views of death.
Yeah.
So there tends to be a lot of fear.
Yeah. So the question is how you can help them, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And how I can try to
Mora
understand.
lo tanda shipchu sin sarwa. Ta lo ya tobo le gyot nyorwa. Jizo na lo lakbar tu tanda ta bena kashe yikshu ki chö jingye ta de lo ya tobo le gyot nyorwa. Gengo. Ta kanzo ki sembe na lo ta chi ko shiye ki ta nyen ler tamba en sembe na ngang ra ta mango chungo res. Ta kanzo la mu ki kalsur ji ropa chiye ki chi ngingje tang tinde tu de 다 간데스 지고 유명해와 다 간소 낭배기 돈을 따와도 여러 집 미다고 세야 치와 미다고 당집 왕고 된소 양 간소 직신은 켈린 지고 유명 가시스 간소를 로바 간데 지고 그랬어
네. 다른 뭐 지로 있는 소소소 다 뭐만 건디스 알아 콜 선수 와시겠네. 그러니까 이시나 견주세는 이거를 제가 견주 뜻이지. 저게 제대로 견주저를 시작을 해서 그런 것만 대로 이제 뒷평이가 일단 그냥 되더라. 아리는 아주서 되는데 저 내봐 전부 시험을 가네 견주거리 뭐 땡만 존나나 얘는 견주거리 예수서는 들리고 들어서 대소나 약은 알아. 이제는 거를 견주로 대바야 나한테 이제는 이게 시험 패야. 네네 대바. So the best is to support the people according to their own background, of their own background of their faith, right? So, for example, if you're talking about those people who have a very strong Christian background, then they in Christianity, so there's a whole the idea of these Almighty God and having taking refuge or having faith in the God. If you instill faith, if you develop that, and then that give them a sense of like a refuge, sense of protections. So and so therefore if the people are very have a strong belief in that, and also in their background, if they are very familiar with that kind of belief systems, so it's good to support, if you can, how to remind or how you can help them to inspire in whatever they are believing. Yeah, and this might have a more beneficial, and it actually does help, people, even with the Christian background, if they believe in God, that will help them to overcome, the fears and so forth. so the living knowledge get to today. Now, feel it, no one and get around, those who work in
And then on the more, of course, on the more practical side, then you know care that you provide to them, and which has a you know, which has a tremendous, you know, benefit to them. You know, if you show, even if you are doing some, providing some, you know, physical, supports. So you know, providing that with a great sense of their respect, you know, with a gentle and to their needs, and you know, where you talk to them, and you know, and all this, the care that you express to them, that also will help them a lot. So in some cases, maybe it might be the best thing you can do is to read their prayer, the prayer that they normally do in their life. So if they have a, you know, difficulty reading that, so you go and read that out to them, and so that will, you know, remind them, and would really you know, help them. Like Bibles.
I read your constitution. Yeah, I read your constitution. Yes, you say the constitution. The mind inside can be much better. You know, need to show us some to show us. Can we show what it is?
Just letting them know that, you know, you are reading this you know, special text that they normally use. You're reading that, and so you you know, should try to reflect on those meaning of that text. Yeah, like a Bible. If you're reading Bible, so read to that to them.
Bible no 시지 대화 나는 저런 용을 해. 이게 서치 대화 생각이네. 저럴 때잖아. And you call on the show 용을 해. 서치 대화 생각.
So you know, there are in the Bible, if you're reading the Bible, if the person is familiar with those various prayer in the Bible, so like there are certain prayers where they, you know, mention of the how you know, you as if like you union with the you know, Almighty God, you know, you come to me, or something like that. So if this kind of word, you know, if the people hear this kind of words, it might be mean a lot to that person's. But generally speaking, so it's the for a lot of the, you know, elderly people. So what's most important is the care that you you know, you provide to them, and that means a lot to them, and quite often they get a lot of fears, and a lot of frustrations, and the sense but helplessness in their mind, because the people who provide those cares are not doing, you know, properly. Yes.
Nancy Yoga, Nancy Mayon, follow setting as Tapana Jenny.
So of course the problems varies from what they people go through at the old age. So there are some those who have who are very rich, and they might be so worrying about now what's going to happen with their wealth, and who's going to get, and distributing and so forth. But there are some other who's just worrying that whether there will be enough for them, to when they get older. So they worry about that a lot. And no. So, for if those people you are providing help, if they are from a Buddhist background, then what's important is to help them to create an environment where they can help them to remember their the Buddhist practices and so forth. So, I mean, there are some instances where even though the other people have no any a background of any belief systems, but out of your sincere motivation, if you share and provide them the advice based on whatever you believe, and even as a Buddhist, and if you share certain the idea of certain belief that which you think is beneficial, if you share with them, sometimes they would appreciate that. Even some non-believer would also appreciate that. As early on, we are saying that how if we could cultivate in the very positive and a very stable state of mind, happy state of mind, and how that has an immediate benefit, and also in long run, in even we could when we get older, so we could maintain that very stable state of happy state of mind. And then if you have that, then that actually makes easier for other people who are looking after you to make it easier for them to look after you, or rather than if you now, and even when you turn, if you're very short temper and then very moody, and then when you get older, if you are sane, then it is making harder for other people to look after us as well. So so in relation with this, so I to share one person who just passed away maybe just about 2 years ago, and at the age of 96, and he said was a friend of mine, and who shared his life, that he was from a family of many children, but he was one of the younger age, and he was saying how in his childhood, because from the same family, so he always had been bullied by all his elder brothers and sisters, and had a very rough, tough time, difficult time, but however, before he passed away in the older age, he completely changed, and he shared that he was a very different person, and then later on found that even before he passed away, it was so easy for the family to look after him, and he passed very peacefully. So that's the kind of thing. If even makes a difference. If we have been able to cultivate and this very positive state of mind, very joyful state of mind, then it's like a if we come to the time when we need a help from others, so it's easier for others to provide the help.
네, 가지 왜다 지시야写的写个나도 로반 로된 게래. 걸어 봐봐들 봐 로그 지 건이래야 돼. 배 삼바시 뭐야. 여기 거진 거 도와줘 주사. 내는 거데. 삼바시 뭐 단다. 발레 자는 알아 갔으나 발레 자들이 메세 만 나다에 가까이 막 지주간이 좀 뭐지. 야만 삼바시 보고라 요지시. 야, 좋은 게 되면, 도마는 게 되면, 매는 게 사면, 이게는 자, 이나, 쉬고요. 외주공에 매는 거는 이게 매셔를 단단으로 보지. 걸어라, 발레를 짜는 걸 쨌든 지금요. 이는 생각이 이게 같이 만 삼십 번 이미 대면에 다 드는 몸을 내는 이다. 이게 단다시야 돼. 이게는 계속 돼서 그거 최소한게 되는 말이다. 얘네들 걸로 그지 관이야. 마시 뭐 가래. 다 차다제 차대서가 가이 문제스라. 아 세바시 뭐지? 세바시 뭐 가는 데요. 더많은 게 되면 좋은 게 많이. 이제 맨날 이 사만이 생각해 봐야 너가 문제. 야보네 되게 다 너가 되게 모든 지조 말이 걸 지주간의 소세스 슈퍼전 세슈퍼 많이 와야 돼. 그때 배야 대응이 다세 대응에 들어도 참으시고 들으셔.
So in fact when we talk about the mental peace and happiness, and so it's not in order to achieve that, it's not necessary that we have to be following a particular faith, like religions. So there are some other I remember there's one guy who from Bendigo, and who is his father passed away a few years ago, and he always he doesn't believe, he doesn't accept any religion school, but he always very joyful, very cheerful kind of guy, very happy, and even says to me that he's always consider himself as very fortunate and always very positive kind of thinking, and also he engages in supporting some the in the communities by the make a bread and then the giving to those people who are in need. And also at one stage there was when there was a bushfire in Bendigo, he volunteered for that. No.
He said, I'm very happy, someone I know drinking, I know someone, I know taking medicine, why? Brother said, maybe you got blood test. No, I don't need blood, why? I know sickness, why?
Also check his blood pressure, he says, there's no need, he's happy.
Yeah, not 2 years ago, good bread, send me, maybe bad, I did. I do pray, I don't. You know, I understand. You know, somebody about lots of it, not the tree too much around. First time, lots of jelly, the California sugar, there's a couple the Gorja and Jet Penguin, they in the men to the check on this. She told us her highly charm, she drew you. The California cheddar, so the Gerard Roberts organized California cheddar. Yeah, but you that's that. My logic more, and when it says the Modona, there's a Gorja, the nigger, get to other. I logic movie are it, and the one didn't let me get you on it.
So what's most important is the some sort of happiness within our mind to maintaining that, and so in as to the the external or material possessions we could have, and then we could lose them, and also we can accumulate them later, but when we talk of this happiness within our mind, and that's to some extent it is not that easy to cultivate, but it's something that the only way you could it is not something that someone else can share with you, can just pass it on to you, but you have to create yourself, bring that you are in yourself, and also you have to take the responsibility in terms of maintaining that the stable peace and happiness within your mind, and then so therefore from this point perspective, so it's very important to not, if you have found this happiness, mental happiness, so it's important to maintaining it and safeguarding it, and really to losing it is a very sad, it cannot, far worse than losing any external objects.
Yeah, Goja pay this and what's in the my father, Goja pay yours. Goja pay yours. Hello, Goja, that lot of money level, there was Goja tenders. Goja walk, the really damn walk, the kind of damn walk. Meditation walk, something all about how are you? I very good. Meditation walk.
So the Geshe is saying how he has been teaching, the people on the meditation practice for a number of years, Now these days there are some people, even some come to him and say to him as if that they are encouraging him to practice meditation by saying that how much benefit they have got from achieve from meditation, and they say the meditation tells to Geshe it really works, and they've so there's a lot of people who come to me and say they appreciated about the learning about the meditation practice, and there are many even on the elderly my friends who also sharing their how much they benefited from the meditation practice. So there's one particular one. So there are a lot of people who have such a, if you like a very positive kind of feedback on meditation. So there's one guy who he started learning meditation at age of 60, and now he's over 90, and he says that how he found so much benefit, but only regret is that he he didn't learn before that, before 60.
What is in relation to this?
So in another case where the mother was been following the meditation for a while, and now turned 92, and so she had a broken hip and really physically is in a very bad shape. But her son, who doesn't particularly follow a spiritual practice, but then came to see me and say that how despite that such a the very bad physical situation, how her mother, his mother was so always very cheerful and mentally is still very sound and very happy, and this son at least could see, said to me that it was something to do with her meditation practice. And so it makes it different to our own life and our own well-being and happiness if we maintain a good positive state of mind, and with with that to establish a like a very harmonious and a very positive relation with all the other people around, and this way we also help other as well as, and in fact, in return, then this also is simply increase our own happiness as well. So maybe one more question, if anyone has a question. Otherwise, we'll stop here. Yes.
In the same way of people who are facing death through illness or old age, particularly in the case of euthanasia becoming more mainstream, not necessarily always wanting to offer a Buddhist idea against euthanasia because that creates a bit of a problem sometimes. Is there another way in just general conversations with people using Buddhist ideas? You could sort of have a discussion with someone to say there are other means or processes to face dying rather than saying it has to come quickly, it has to, and it's an end of a problem in itself. Because sometimes there might be the idea that we don't know where we're being hurled if we cut our life off early. So it might be better to go through the problems that we have, because we're not sure that we might be hurling ourselves into bigger problems. But that's using sometimes a Buddhist idea. So in that sense, because I think euthanasia does seem to be growing.
Yeah.
In a gentle conversation, does Geshe have any advice?
On euthanasia. Yeah. Tadanda di nubjo jizo nala da Geshe ma neba tawo dan gengo de Geshe chanda so subu gojo kange mo chene ta men dan so mo ne sies ma ge so de baton ko di timdun chene o ta di ki chana da nangbe ge da mango she ko mo le tong la ya ga yi me ta mango jo ro di to lo ge gong zu khare na se
I think I'm going to talk to you about it.
no
I think I'm going to talk to you.
no
That was the other money says he, but it's also something that I can't go on it. And what they get there, call it a shit of him. The Jedi go mother draw, no, should have young got.
no
And Mamma she get that.
no so
So did Jedi get it? So said,
no
get there, she got.
no
I met on said they get in there.
no
Get there, she got.
long de long
They take a money again.
ma de ji dang ge da do tim din so xiao la lu ma ka xe la so men gan chi dang ga de men dang de xi ge la ge ro so bin de ba ton ani khon zo ge da ka xe
Call it touch
no am ji ge da men dang da ko lo ro ba chi ka xe ro ba chi
Call it cherry.
ko ro ba chi so
Robert and Robert, I go Mario, call the Robert yes.
no
No, another Robert you may teach. Robert yes.
no
Young under our command.
yeah
They said in Madua.
no
Get Robert yes. No, Robert yes. Get Robert Messer. No man in prison and negate and much for a lot to change. They're calling us a less. Call it visible less. Visible less. Kuan Toga and you can run and there put the market in the nations. You might hear they might children. You know, that column has a causing on each other. Causing this in your body, cause the apple chest. Cause the apple chest, the kids, then Roga, hanging it up, hanging kids, hanging a tender depart carriage, then color Robert Taco, telling him that the shoes. Never have come, my kid Robert. I think at the partition, they test. Hanging gay show the car and get the momos in Lenny, during a charges. I think it carries a kid 10 years. Okay, I was there in the meeting. This one I read that. Condo pay is a money about the stage home. I call the colony, you imagine.
So this is a very old questions, which was raised, even the same question was raised in the past. And so it's quite a sensitive and very complicated, there's to say, which, to give one our interpretations, right? If you, whether it is ethically it is right to support to somebody's, for their to euthanasia or not. And so there's one, Geshe said there was one guy who did a course with him up in Queensland, and prior to that course, so he must be staying in the hotel, and he somehow that's how he had a first contact with Geshe, and then afterward he did the course, and after the course he mentioned to Geshe that in his life he did one negative, one bad thing, that is that he shot one horse which was actually maybe injured or what was dying. He shot that, and he said to Geshe, he shared that he recognized that was my negative karma. But my good things I've done in my life is that I've always been paying tax to the government. So it's difficult to say that how, at the time when he made the decision, that was based on his knowledge at the time, and then later on he regretted that, and that's also based on that. So it's just that because we do not know for certain that the fate of that, the dying person or the other persons, what's happening in the future, So therefore, it's difficult for our position to make that decision, what is right or wrong. If we know for certain that what was, going to happen, and that's a different story. Yeah.
So we should take quite neutral. It would be best just to be quite neutral.
당념 샤나 약을 왜 쓰겠어? 당념 샤나 약사를 왜 넣어? 내가 아마 보나다 당념 다 미지 그런 데야 나자가 아팅면도 당아 멘테로 치스로 로시로시 시긴스라로 된 라바이나 소소게다 인다 메카 말랍신에 또 샤신데 약을 왜 써?
아니 나 거저 제가 걸어 펜트이냐 걸어 펜트 제가 걸어 펜트이 세우냐
나오나 또 코란스 받다 코란 미들에 라바이나서
저는 당말로 되는 소소소 그죠? 어디서로 다 가는 거지.
That's up to you. Up to individual. Up to you.
I decide. Decide. Other people don't know. He said, I came to you medicine. He think I benefit me. Give that thing beneficial. That is very sadly. That thing is say what calling you Called the one you want to take part of that. Tadu Gaka, Chelsea, come out in Cheva. Not then, not then. Call it the icing. And to
So, there's like a lot of, animals being, put to death when they reach to that kind of stage. So basically when people who implement those, to putting animal into death or who help in the euthanasia, and they also are doing that, out of compassion for, for the dying persons, so that the pain that the person's going through, and so therefore they, in their mind, so what they're doing is in the best interest of the other person. So therefore, it's difficult, or it's not right for us to say that is wrong, and or it can be very complicated. So it's best to leave up to the each individual to make the whatever you do, the decisions. Yeah.
So
Okay, now we'll chant the Buddha's mantra and